Good afternoon, and welcome to AI, the recorded workshop that is hosted by Career Connections. This workshop is funded with a generous support from the Harold Alfond Foundation as part of the UMS Transforms Pathways to Careers grant. So today's agenda includes introduction to AI, categories of AI, benefits of AI, pros and cons, AI assistance, resume writing with AI, and interviewing preparation using AI. So, the learning objectives for today include at the end of this workshop, learners will be able to understand the presence of AI across industries, know the benefits of AI, know how to use AI ethically, understand how to utilize AI for writing and job searching, gain perspective on the future of artificial intelligence. So, the emergence of AI in industries, it's everywhere. What we know so far is that artificial intelligence has advanced rapidly, and we know for a fact that it's really not going to fade anytime soon. It's only going to become more woven into like the fabric of our everyday life more than it already has become. So it's really just going to evolve. I think that the spread of AI really was quite fast. But wherever we look, we can see that it is now a part of just about every industry that you can think of. Um, I think everybody has already engaged with AI, no matter what you do for work. I mean, I think we've all seen like chatbots on websites. Um, we can do all kinds of shopping now online. There's just so many things that AI has kind of, you know, broken through the surface with. And it's really defined as the computer science that's dedicated to creating machines and software capable of performing tasks that require human intelligence. So that's basically just about everything, right? So that kind of sums it up on how AI has kind of infiltrated our everyday society. So the benefits of I truly love AI. I just want to say that I cannot recommend using it enough, but it has made some really big breakthroughs, like, for example, task automation. It's really starting to complete repetitive or time-consuming tasks with accuracy, and also at a fast level. It's increased productivity at the cost of it is excuse me, I'm sorry, it's late in the afternoon and I'm tired. It's increased productivity and cost savings as a result. With some of these that I have on the screen, I just put a little star at the bottom, and I was just kind of thinking like it is great. While these are all really great achievements, like what could possibly be like a cautionary, perspective, and maybe with task automation, factories can replace a large portion of human workers. That could be an absolute, speed bump for those who do those kinds of jobs. Fast, accurate insights. AI is now assisting with a lot of research using like drug research, and it can help with diagnosis, and it can really read complex data sets now. With enhanced decision making, it's kind of helping analyze data sets, and it can identify patterns or insights that humans could possibly miss. So it's highly accurate, it's highly efficient. It can now provide personalized experiences, and it can help in education, customer service, assistive technology. Um, we can also, solve complex problems. And, we know that AI can now navigate maybe some hazardous environments like the self-driving cabs. Those are a thing now, and those are here. I don't know if you've seen like a lot of food delivery systems with that automatic buggy that, you know, I don't know how it drives itself, but it's all by itself. It's non-human assisted. Those are a thing now. For the innovation and the economic growth. I think academia is struggling now with like lack of effort with everybody that's relying on artificial intelligence now. So it definitely has its pros and its cons, but I do think that the benefits of AI as of now are kind of outweighing the cons. But as far as what's going to happen in the future, we just have to let it unfold and see what comes up. So for artificial intelligence, there's a ton of pros and cons. Best practices when we're using it is that we need to understand and treat AI as a very, very smart assistant. It's excellent for exploring, brainstorming, researching, learning, problem solving. You can ask it anything, anything within reason, it will spit an answer out for you. I always put a warning as well as with any social platform or anything online that we have a lot of engagement with, that we have the opportunity to engage with a lot. We have to be cautious. We need to remember that artificial intelligence, it's really not a source of truth, ethics, or emotional support. It does not replace lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, therapists, or writing academic papers. Other helpful perspectives. Um, is that we really need to understand that it does not understand or process deep human emotions. It cannot make heavy life decisions. It's not a private diary, and it is not the keeper of your personal information or passwords. So it should never be treated as such. We always should proceed with caution. So, what you see on the screen now, I asked Gemini, like the question that I asked was, what kinds of prompts do you get? Can you list me a handful of questions of what people have asked? And this is literally what it spit out. And it's not everything that it spit out. I did take little bits and pieces from different areas. And I wanted to show you on this table just so that you can see that the amount of prompts are really endless. So you can ask AI anything and it will come up with some kind of an answer, okay? So don't be shy. Like if you've never used it or you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend that you start engaging with it and practice with it and use it because it is so helpful and it can really help you be productive in your professional roles, and it can help you with projects and it can help you with research. There are so many things that it can do to speed up your timing and your products, right? The things that you are responsible for, it really helps you speed up your own timelines. That's what I'm trying to say, and I hope I made that clear. So, assistance in writing, what I love about Gemini or ChatGPT is that it will eliminate writer's block instantly. If you're stuck and you're trying to write a resume summary, a cover letter, or an email, and you don't know how to make it flow, you don't know how to make it sound correct, or you're just like, God, I'm really stuck with this. How do I say that? AI can help. If you just type in and ask it a question, it can even spit out different options so that you can take your pick and be like, I like the way that sounds over here in the second option. It gives you plenty of options to work with when it comes to writing, okay? But we always have to be ethical. I do think that higher education is struggling now because of AI. We have to never use it as a first draft writer ever. It doesn't ever replace critical thinking, and we need to remember that. And any data that you do get from AI, you should always cross-check it and just kind of fact check it. Because remember, it's a brilliant assistant, but it's not the end all be all. And it should never be used as a straight copy and paste. Academic dishonesty is a thing. And I think that the cautionary checks that a lot of higher ed and professors and teachers are doing now are becoming a little bit more savvy and aware of it. So, as always, you should always represent your authentic self when you are trying to do these types of academic papers. So resume writing using AI, it's fabulous. I can't recommend it enough. Um, if you are trying to get past an ATS, which is an applicant tracking system, and you're looking at a job post, you can copy and paste it, and AI can tell you, these are the key words that you should have sprinkled throughout your resume. And you can put in a job description. You can put in how they list out in bullet points the responsibilities of the role. Copy and paste everything, and you will get a list back of the keywords and the buzzwords that you're supposed to have. If you don't know how to write a bullet point, or if you know for a fact that your bullet points are just so long and maybe they're run-ons, you can ask artificial intelligence, like, hey, how would you write this to be more short and concise? Or I need this to be a lot smaller. Or how would you combine these bullet points into a paragraph? It will do that for you. Okay. If you are having a hard time with like formatting or design, it can help you and let you know, like, okay, your resume should look like this for this specific section in your resume. It can really do everything for you to make sure that you are producing solid documents. And for resume tailoring, it can look at your cover letter to make sure that it matches, to make sure that it makes sense with the role that you're trying to apply for. It's fabulous. I just think that you should really practice. And just to take the pressure off, you can go into any job like Indeed and just pick out any job description or job post that you find and just play around with it and just be like, what keywords do you think are important out of this job post? Or how would you formulate a cover letter for somebody that doesn't have that much experience but has had experience in A and B? Like, you can switch it up, and you need practice so that you can get the best out of whatever AI format you're using, whatever platform you are using. So I wanted to show an example of how it can help you with the resume preparation. I love Gemini. I started with ChatGPT and I've kind of gone to Gemini. So at the time of this creation of this workshop, we were hiring for a director of military services, veteran services. And so I copied and I pasted, and my question you can see there in the pink. What keywords should be in my resume summary from the following job description? I copied and pasted it. The reply I got was based on the job description for the Director of Military and Veteran Services at UMA. The following keywords and phrases should be prioritized in your resume summary. See, and it spit out all of those bullet points in seconds. And then it on the bottom, it says action-oriented and responsibility keywords. These terms describe the actions that they expect the director to take. Use strong action verbs at the beginning of phrases. So it gave me the action words, and then if you look across on the bottom right-hand side, it let me know what soft skills and experience keywords. So these words highlight the necessary interpersonal and management skill. So this is what I mean when I say get used to AI, because it's super helpful. It answered what I asked it in 3 different ways. So these are the types of things that can help you bypass the ATS system and possibly get pushed up after like an initial screening. So remember, the whole goal of your resume is to score an interview. So if you use AI to your advantage and you know how to use it and prompt it, it can really help you flesh out, and it can increase your chances of hopefully scoring an interview. I did put up an example. Oh wait, that's the next slide. Sorry, guys. So if you use AI for interview preparation, you're on the right track. It has the ability to do background research on different companies of interest so that you can help you form your solid answers and questions for like the interview. You can generate interview questions. It can really spit out all kinds of interview questions. You may just have to be a little bit more specific, like ask for behavioral questions, brain teaser questions. Um, what would you do questions, all those types of things. And it can actually give you the types of answers that what hiring managers are kind of seeking. And then there are AI platforms that universities use. Like, for example, UMA, we use Big Interview, where you can practice your interviewing and get on spot feedback that's AI generated. But you can also print out lists of questions so that you can just practice on your own. And practice with a friend or practice in front of a mirror. I think the more that you're prepared for an interview, the more that you will be better off. And if there's like a job description that you're going to apply for, but you're like, I understand what the role is, but I'm kind of a little on the fence and you kind of just want some clarification, AI can help you understand anything that you are possibly struggling with, right? You just have to ask it and have it synthesize for you and organize. Okay, so interview preparation examples using Gemini. So I asked it, my question was, what are the toughest interview questions? The response that it gave me was the chart that you see on the right-hand side. They say, hey, these are all the questions that are the hardest ones to answer, and they are hard because they force you to expose a perceived flaw while pivoting into a strength or a growth story. So that is just one example of how it can help you. But I wanted you to see like just how thorough AI is when you're using it in the right way. So it's up to you to get used to it and to engage with it so that you can use it to your advantage. You just have to be creative and thoughtful with your prompts and your questioning to see how it helps you tailor your resume, create a resume, write a cover letter, those types of things. So I wanted to put another example of how it can even help you write an email. I asked it, write a professional email thanking a manager for a final interview. And it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but if it's similar to that, you're on the right track, okay? And then I put a last one of a sample of an email response turning down a job offer. And it spit that out because nobody wants to write that. But if you're stuck and you're just so nervous, sometimes the anxiety would kick in. If you just simply use AI, it can really eliminate that writer's block and it gets you going. Okay. Fabulous, fabulous helper. I can't recommend AI enough. So the future of excuse me, I'm so sorry, artificial intelligence, also known as AI. The future of it will be defined by its integration across all the aspects of our society and our life. We know that it's here to stay. It is primarily driven by advances in large multimodal models, but we are going to see that it's really indispensable, especially in the workplace with because I am so sorry. It's indispensable in the workplace because it can really help production, right? So, I mean, it kind of whatever project you're working on, it really helps you get stuff done super fast, right? So that makes people efficient. So we already know that it's not going to go anywhere. A lot of the progress that we are seeing now, there's going to always be some challenges, but it's going to be forever changing. It's going to be forever morphing. So we just have to kind of wait and see how it's going to further advance our society by the things that it can do. As far as like generations at work, we do know that there's a shift that's starting to happen to where as the younger generations come in, because AI can now do how a task is done and it can complete that, younger generations are now starting to shift for purposeful work. So they want to know if companies can match their values. So they're saying, okay, well, if we already know, if AI can do a task, if it can fix how something is done, we are now going to focus our energy on why something is done. Okay. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of like if they know that tasks can be removed, they're going to go to more of a purposeful perspective. Is this work purposeful? Does it match my values, right? There's going to be a way more emphasis on that, on chasing passions. Okay. So just be aware if you run into it, it's becoming a lot more, it's becoming a lot more common to really look for work as purposeful. Okay, so this is the end of the AI. I know it's a very short presentation. Just please start using AI and practice with it so that you can get used to asking it different prompts so that it can help you fill out your resumes and your cover letters, all right? And it can give you samples. So if you can scan the QR code or follow the link to fill out a short evaluation, we'd really appreciate it. If we have any topics that we haven't covered that you wish we would, please let us know. We can do it as a group or an individual consultation. Once again, thank you so much for watching this recorded workshop. Please fill out the feedback form because we're always trying to improve. We're always trying to help you be your best candidate. Have a great afternoon and thank you so much for watching.